today we'll be talking about the third line of defense. So when the first line of defense is is dead, like it did not fail, it failed when the first and the second line of defense is failed, second is failed, so the third line of defense is work, and the third line of defense is work on the specific pathogens. Okay, like the third line of defense is specific in nature. I'm writing, so third line of defense is work. Third Okay, so when the first and the second line of defense stop working, like failed, so the third line of defense get activated. So it is like third line of defense is what specific in nature. It is specific in nature. Means it kills the specific pathogen. For example, like the COVID pathogen is present in the body, so it will kill always the specific pathogen, okay, not the flu one pathogen. Or like, so there are two types. Like if we talk about the types, so here we're gonna like differentiate it between the two types. Cell mediated, like there are two type of responses: cell mediated response and the humoral immunity. Okay, we will discuss the cell mediated response first. So the cells that are like important in the cell mediated response are the T cells. All the T cells are responsible for this. And if we talk about the types of the T cells, so there are major 4 types of T cells. Let me write: T helper cells, T suppressor cell, T cytotoxic cells, or you can say T killer cells, and the T memory cells. Okay, so these cells are working with the cell mediate immunity in the third line of defense. Okay, I hope that is clear. So like according, like in if we talk about the more include, for like if we talk about like more type of cells, so they're like more are responsible. For example, macrophages, dendritic cells, dendritic cells. Okay, macrophages and dendritic cells. As we know that macrophages work as a engulfing, means it will engulf the bacteria, it will eat the bacteria and kill that cell. So here the macrophages will be also working. Let's talk about some few points that if I talk about that where the T cells are mature. So T cells are like made in bone marrow, but they are mature where? In the thymus. Okay, you can like remember from T. Now talking about the B cells, the B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes are work in the humoral response. Okay, so B lymphocytes are like also mature in the spleen, nodes, and bone marrow. Here I am talking about the humans, but now talking about the birds and these type of animals. So they are mature in the bursa of fabricula. In the birds bursa of fabricula. Okay, so they like as we know that then B lymphocytes are divided into the memory cells and the plasma cells. The plasma cells like make the antibodies, and the memory cell keep the record. Okay, I hope that is clear. So now moving towards the mechanism of it. So like the cell mediated response like directly kills the means it directly attacks the pathogen. In the cell mediated response, here we are talking about the cell mediated response. So in the cell mediated response, they directly kill the pathogen. We'll see how, what's the mechanism of it. So it directly kills the pathogen. Directly attacks to the pathogen. Now here like in this the cell immune response, the monocytes are converted into macrophages. What monocytes are converted into macrophages? Monocytes are converted into macrophages. Okay, let's see how. So after like the 10 to 20 hours, the monocytes from the blood will travel to the intercellular spaces of the tissues. Like after 10 to 20 hours, monocytes will, what it will do, it will be like shifting itself from the intercellular spaces of the tissues. When it will be going to the intercellular spaces, so their growth will be increased, and they will increase in the size. Their growth will be increased automatically. Here the growth increases. So when the growth is increased, so they are converted into then what? They are converted into macrophages. Macro means big and phages means eater, big eaters. So they are then converted into big eater, means macrophages. This is how macrophages work in the cell mediated response. So here I am talking about that mhc1 and mhc2. Then this big macrophage will have the ability to attach the mhc1 and mhc2, have the ability to attach the mhc to mhc1. So we'll discuss that what is this mhc1 and mhc2. mhc1 and MHC like they are known as, their full form is major histocompatibility complex. Okay, they are the special types of protein. As I told you that there is special type of protein, special type of protein. Okay, they are the pathogen representing proteins. Means, for example, if the cell contain, let me write first, special type of protein. For example, this is the infected cell. This is the infected cell. This is the infected cell. Okay, now add here, the major histocompatibility, major histocompatibility complex 1 is present, and here the 2 is present. Means mhc1 and mhc2 are present over here. mhc1 and mhc2 are present. So what this mhc1 and mhc2 will do, they will represent the pathogen. They will do what? They will representation, they will work for the representation of the pathogen. Representation of antigen. What is antigen? I will tell you as well. Antigen is the foreign particle, means the outside particle which trigger the immune response, that initiate the immune response. Okay, foreign particle that trigger or that initiate the immune response. Means that for that start your immune system. Means, for example, if the pathogen is coming, for example, antigen or pathogen, both are the same. Antigen is coming into your body, so all the cell will be activate, and when the cell will be activate, so that will be known as the activation of the immune system or immune response. So this is what the antigen is known as. Okay, now as here mhc1 and mhc2 is for the representation. Means it will identify, it will kill the bacteria. We'll see the mechanism as well. So first of all, let us see the structure of the mhc1. Okay, I'm writing over here mhc1. So mhc1 have 3 alpha and 1 beta unit. They are binded like this. I'll make the this is the alpha 1, this is alpha 2, this is alpha 3, and this is beta. Okay, let me make their bond. They are connected with this, like they are all connected. Okay, I'll write alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and beta 1. Okay, so they are connected, here this is their binding site, MHCs have the binding sites, and they have the binding site between the alpha 1. As you can see, MHC1 has the binding site between alpha 1 and alpha 2. As you can see, this is the binding site of MHC1. This is the binding site of MHC1. It is between what? Alpha 1 and alpha 2. So that is why I am saying, and they contain the sequence of amino acid. Here the amino acid are present. Amino acid. They have the sequence of the amino acid. Okay, they have what? The sequence of amino acid. They have the sequence of the amino acid. Here the good thing about it is, the new thing about it is that it have a receptors. Yes, it have the receptors. Every mhc1 and mhc2 both have the receptors and the co-receptor, so it have the receptor as well, and that receptor is known as cd4. What they are called as, they are called as cd4 receptors. And uh, and uh, like uh, like for example, I am giving the example of the t cells, t killer cells, okay, and that was also known as cytotoxic. So if like the cytotoxic cells have cytotoxic cell have the ability to read this cd4, so that is why cytotoxic also contain the cd4, and also the natural cells, natural killer cells, okay, natural killer cells. And here I'm gonna give you one more point, that at this, like at alpha 3, here is the the tail part, okay, that joined to the nucleus. This is what the tail part. I hope that is clear. So now we'll be moving towards our mhc, like 2, like the structure of mhc2. So yeah, mhc2 have mhc2 have they are also known as the heterodimers. Dimers, okay. Why they are known as heterodimers? Because they have the two chains of alpha, as we were having in the mhc1, that we are having the three chain of alpha. Now here we are having the two chains of alpha and two of beta, okay. I'm gonna make over this here. Okay, like they are also connected with each other, they are binded with each other, so their binding site. Now we are talking about the binding site. So here I am talking about the binding site of the mhc2 is have the co-receptor, that is cd8. There will we had the cd4. Now here we are having the cd8. So the cells that can attach with the cd8 are t suppressor cells, and the t memory cells, and the t helper cells. As in the mhc1, we had the natural killer cells and the cytotoxic cells. So here we are having the t suppressor cell can attach with this binding site, t memory cells will attach, t helper cell can attach with the mhc2, okay. So here let me tell you one thing, that mhc1 is only present in the nucleate, or like in all the nucleated cell, but mhc1 cannot be present in the non-nucleated cell. What is the non-nucleated cell? Red blood cells in red blood cell it is absent, so instead of that CD47 is present, 45 sorry. And in the sperm cell it is not present, mhc1, because it is present in all the nucleated cells. So here our the structure of the mhc2 is also complete. We have discussed about the structure. Now we'll be going towards the cell mediated response. So mhc1 and mhc2, I'm gonna clear more over here that they are not our body allow them. Why our body allow them? Because our body thinks that it is our our molecule. It is the helpful molecule, and it do not it protect us. It is hamara banda, we do say that our body says this. Okay, so it do not harm us. It is the molecule that protect us. So yeah, I'm gonna clear more. I'm gonna make the diagram here again. For example, here, this is the cell. Oh god, I am not getting the good color. Yes, this is the cell. Okay, what's the difference between mhc1 and mhc2? This is the cell, and here at this place I'm attaching the mhc1. So what mhc1 will do? mhc1 will kill, if the cell have the mhc1, if the mhc1 is present, so here the cell will kill all the the mhc1 will kill whole the cell. It will kill the cell. But talking about the mhc2, so mhc2 will, what it will do? It will only kill the pathogen. For example, this is the cell, and here the mhc2 is present. So what this mhc2 will do? This mhc2 will find the pathogen, and this mhc2 will kill only the pathogen. For example, I'm making the pathogen over here. Sorry, this is the cell. Okay, I'm attaching the mhc2 over here. This is the mhc2. So what mhc2 will do? mhc2 will find that pathogen, and it will kill that specific pathogen. It will not kill the whole the cell. It will kill what? It will kill the specific pathogen. So this is what the difference between the mhc1 and mhc2 is. mhc1 is present in all, as I told you that mhc2 is present in dendritic cells, and as I told you, it can attach with dendritic cells, it can attach with macrophages as well, and all the T cells, as I told you. Macrophages means eaters, and the macro means big. So in the next video I'm gonna explain the cell mediated response. Not possible in this.